Hi there, this is Save with Crypto. Okay, so somebody yesterday, I think it was Naji, mentioned that you could buy NFTs on Trust Market with LKMEX. I must admit, it actually does seem to be possible. Actually, I'm not going to connect my wallet to this, but I believe it is possible to do that. Which is interesting, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, this one says it's made by Trust Staking, and I do know Trust Staking from the Maiar app, and it seems okay. But yeah, it's interesting how they kind of, they want to be paid in LKMEX. Clearly, people want it. That said, the price of these things, I mean, to me, they just look rubbish. I mean, both my daughters can do better than this, and maybe I should get them making NFTs actually. But $13,898. That's ridiculous. I mean, my wife was an excellent artist, and she used to sell her art for much less than I thought it was worth, actually. But she generally charged like a few €100 for something that took like weeks to make. But I guess NFTs are a different kettle of fish, really, aren't they? But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Now then, autoworld.ro. I believe you can buy cars here. Let's have a look at the second-hand ones. See what I can buy. So, say I wanted this Audi Q5. I mean, it's only talking about euros at the moment, but now this article was actually put out on Elrond.com in October last year, actually, and this was talking about AutoWorld becoming the first European car dealer to accept eGold payments. But what seems to have happened today is that AutoWorld are now using UTRUST, obviously with Elrond, to accept payments, which is brilliant, isn't it? Anyway, despite that, the price of UTRUST hasn't really done very much. So I'm not entirely sure why that is, but it is making higher lows all the time. So I'm still tempted to buy a little bit of UTRUST. And if you want some yourself, the best place to buy it is SwissBorg, and I'll leave a link to SwissBorg in the description down below. If you use that link, you get these little scratch cards that are supposed to be worth between €1 and €100, and I think the biggest one I've ever seen is like €8, and it's generally about 2 or something. But it's money for nothing, so you may as well use the link. But yeah, I was reading the way like UTRUST works, and the way it works is if you're a merchant, so say for example I was selling my services I do, what would happen was UTRUST would charge 1% for the transaction, but the 1% they give it to you in UTK tokens, which are locked for I think it's like a year. So it's actually free to use, but the idea is that technically what happens is you buy 1% of UTK every time you make a transaction. So that's how that works. Now, if you've ever been a merchant and used something like a normal credit card or even PayPal, I mean PayPal's terrible. The fees you end up paying, particularly if you kind of integrate their buttons and things on your website so that people can buy your services or whatever. When you do that, the fees you pay, they're just astronomical. So UTRUST are offering a way for this to work where in a way it costs nothing. So I think that's just really, really cool actually. I think the UTRUST Elrond connection is brilliant. And they've done all stuff where you can integrate it with like Magento shopping carts and all that kind of thing, like WooCommerce, all the kind of standard e-commerce web solutions. So I think that's very cool. So UTRUST, I think it might be worth getting a little bit. I might do that. Meanwhile, the price of MEX, people are worrying about it because it's just been going downhill all the way. But to be honest, if you look at eGold, that's done exactly the same. And really, if you look at Bitcoin since November, that's done the same as well. So there's no surprise here. There's like all cryptos tend to follow Bitcoin. And at the moment, Bitcoin has just been on a downtrend, and it's been taking everything else with it, including eGold, and then because eGold is so closely related to MEX, it's been doing the same thing. But I'm not worried about it. I'm just still farming LKMEX because I think in the future it's going to be worth a lot more than it is today, and even a lot more than it was back here. Yeah, another news, I've found out I've got the disease that shan't be named. And so's my youngest daughter. My eldest daughter had it 2 weeks ago. The only symptom I've got is a positive test, that I actually feel okay, actually. That said, I've found it a little bit difficult to concentrate today, so my apologies for making quite a shallow content video today. But I'll try and do better later on. I'll do an update for the 2k to 1 million challenge, and hopefully I'll think of something a bit more exciting to say. But so I'm in isolation now, and I've got to work out how to run the house really without being able to go out, which is a bit tricky really when you've got 2 young girls. But I'll do my best. Anyway, despite all that, I still made a video. But so if you appreciate that, give it a like. If you think it wasn't very good, click dislike twice. But do leave a nice comment. Make sure you've got the notification bell ticked, and above all, tell your friends.